and he was performing that song, and he was like on the pole doing all of his like pole tricks, and he split his pants in the front. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to another episode of Almost Rich, Almost Famous, Almost Daily. I have a question.
Oh, geez.
Are you big into Lil Nas X?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm really big into him, but I'm really like not big into him either. He's just like whatever to me.
Well, I kind of feel the same, although I did like that very controversial video he put out where
Yeah,
he
I
was
did
like
not like
lap
that video.
dancing for the devil. I don't know. I was into it. Anyway, yeah. Very on brand. I was very into it. It was a little upsetting.
It's a bit much for me.
Upsetting. Anyway, it was also upsetting because he was performing on Saturday Night Live this last weekend, and he was performing that song, and he was like on the pole doing all of his like pole tricks, and he split his pants in the front.
Okay, so I saw this on social media, and it said like, oh, Lil Nas X is like SpongeBob SquarePants. He ripped his pants. I know you're not a SpongeBob fan. I am. I know exactly the episode of where SpongeBob ripped his pants.
Don't get it. Mm-mm.
So anyway, SpongeBob ripped it from the back. So I assumed it was that. So this is like frontal. Was he wearing underwear?
Full frontal. Well, I don't know. He was wearing like the tightest pants in the world. You couldn't see because he literally cupped the area for the entire performance.
I mean, that's actually pretty impressive that he was able to continue the performance and just held himself together.
I literally held himself together.
And like, he doesn't seem like a person that would get easily embarrassed considering he's like giving the devil lap dances and wearing these crazy outfits. But I don't know, if you're performing on Saturday Night Live and that happens, that's got to be pretty embarrassing. Have you ever had something like that where, you know, like a wardrobe malfunction in front of a lot of people?
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot. I think most people, I'm assuming, have like a lot of things like that. Like your bathing suit top like breaks, and then like you have whatever. But I had one really bad one. Really bad one. Like, I don't have a ton of embarrassing moments, and this was one of them. I was at the pool one day, and I wear like pretty tiny bathing suits, you know?
I know, I'm aware. I see the Instagram.
Oh, okay. Whatever. You've like worn some of my bathing suits, but whatever. Anyway, so I got up and I was just like hanging out, talking to people, and I had somebody literally come over to me and tap me on the shoulder and say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry to do this, but you have a white string hanging between your legs." What?
Was it a man or a woman that tell you?
It was an old man.
So I'm like thinking, like, why would he describe it that way? Like, oh, there's a string in between your legs. Like, if it was a woman, they would be like, honey, your tampon is hanging out.
He told me there was a white string hanging between my legs, and he couldn't stop apologizing. He was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I have to do this. I can't believe I have to do this." He still brings it up to this day. It was horrifying. Horrifying.
I mean, okay, well, I'm glad he told you, so it saved you even more embarrassing moments to go through the rest of the day.
Yes.
But also to hear it from an old man, I would die too.
I was dying. Have you ever had a weird wardrobe malfunction?
Well, now that you brought up bathing suits, that is one that has happened like often. You know how like bathing suits, you feel like they fit, and then if you actually get in, like you go underwater and you come up, like they get like looser. So many times I've like gotten up and the bottoms are off. I'm like, oh geez, sorry. Like, but I feel like that just like happens. So I don't get like that embarrassed by it.
Totally.
The one that comes to mind though, where it was very embarrassing, as you know, proud Akron dance team alum over here. You know the Akron Kent game is the big game. So we are doing a big, like, amazing hip hop routine at halftime. Of course, I'm like right front and center.
Obviously.
And the giant right there, front and center. Literally within like the first couple seconds of the routine, we had to do something like pop up. Mind you, we're wearing these cute little halter tops.
Yeah.
Come up, comes unsnapped, falls down. Immediately, I mean, it was so quick, my reaction, come up, but I had to run off. I couldn't even do the rest of the routine.
I was gonna say you couldn't keep going like Lil Nas X. You like had to actually run off.
I'm not at the level of Nas X.
So did anyone see like?
It was. I think people were more concerned like, why did you run off? Like they didn't actually like see, but they noticed that I ran off, but they weren't like, what, why? I mean, I'm sure, I mean, it's a sold out game. I'm sure some people saw, but they didn't
I'm sure there is a photo somewhere online about that one time the tall brunette Akron dance team woman lost her top. I am sure it's somewhere online. I'll search it later.
I've like Googled myself quite a few times. I haven't seen that one come up. So
You
I
have
think
to dig deep. I'm an investigative reporter. I will find that photo.
Another one that comes to mind, it wasn't actually me. It was actually this past weekend. So I was hosting Miss Kentucky USA. Thank goodness it was in rehearsal and it wasn't for the live show. This is why we have full dress rehearsal though.
Yeah.
And there was a girl that it was like her little cocktail number for the beginning opening number. And she's walking, she's doing her thing, posing, same situation, strap, boom, comes down and she had to hurry up and hold herself up. Yeah. So it's something different when it's like on a stage like that.
Totally.
Because it's you're the entertainment, so people are watching you anyways. Like your situation's embarrassing because you have to see that guy all the time, but at least you weren't like up on a stage and people are like, look at her string between her legs.
Yeah, that's actually so true. But I oftentimes just think people are like looking at me. I'm like, oh, thanks. You look like my bathing suit. These people were all probably looking at me because they were like, you're a total asshole, by the way. Like, get your tampon together.
Well, I feel like there's so many other ones that I'm not thinking of too. But again, I think we're pretty similar in the sense that we don't get embarrassed that easily.
Yeah.
So I'm sure other people have way worse stories and I want to hear them. So please, and if you're too embarrassed to put them in our comments, you can DM us.
Yeah.
Also, I do just want to acknowledge our last poll that we put up. Shocking. We asked you, do you have the passcode to your significant other's phone? It was like 67% said yes. And
really?
it was the most popular poll we've ever put up too. We had so many votes. Majority, yes. But then people did explain themselves and say, but it's not to snoop. It's more of like a convenience thing. Like, oh, like I need to you need to take a photo, or hey, I'm driving. Can you give me directions? I don't know if I totally believe it.
It's conveniently to snoop. I'm on to you guys. I know what's going on.
So we also got some other DMs diving more into that. And so I just decided, I don't know if you're on board with me or not, but we just might have to do a full episode on this because there's so much more to the subject.
I love that. Well, stay tuned. We will be dropping that this Friday. But in the meantime, let us know your wardrobe malfunctions. I feel like we need to feel like we're a part of the group because ours are pretty bad. So keep us posted and stay tuned for later this week where we'll be dropping a new episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.